Okay, I think we'll get started. I want to thank everyone for connecting today. Our main topic is going to be Summer Photo Sharing by Paula Tuebo Munkelwitz. And if you have not already, you can mute your audio and turn off your video till the end of the presentation when we'll open it up for question and answer. Turning off your video may make your screen a little more reactive and not as slow there. You can, during the meeting, if you want, you can use the chat to ask a question or a comment during the presentation. Handout, Paula is just going to be demoing some of the options and that for photo sharing. So there is no handout. We will publish the slides out on the club website after the meeting along with a recording of this meeting. Agenda, we'll cover the club status, then we'll get to the main topic. Future meetings, there's a MACSIG meeting coming up this Friday, September 17th. Lots of new news that came out, was it yesterday or the day before, on the new iPhone, and so they'll be talking about some of that. We do have a monthly Q&A. The next one will be the first Tuesday of the month, which is October 5th. You're welcome to join that. If we don't have questions or that, we get into a few of the current topics in that. And then our general meeting next month in October is Wednesday, October 20th, and it'll be on email tips and tricks by myself. This is for users, so even if you think that you don't need any help with email and that, we all can use help from tips and tricks and how to organize, how to search a little better. So whether you're just doing basic stuff in email or advanced, you should find something valuable there. Our officers, Jim Holman is our president, Linda Brown is our vice president, Paul is our membership secretary, Paula who's presenting today, is our treasurer, Chuck is our recording secretary, Mike is our MACSIG. Andrew is our communication coordinator. My name's Tom. I'm a director at large. When we do get back together, we'll have some pizza meetings and our picnic and stuff like that. We'll be asking for more volunteers. And here's a picture before COVID of our last picnic there. Members old and new, you can pay your dues to Paul Ebert. He has options using PayPal and I believe Venmo and a few other options. Also, if you're changing your email, so you're retiring or maybe you're switching internet providers or for whatever reason you're changing your email, notify us because that's the way we keep in touch with these minutes and links to the meetings and stuff like that. If you do have suggestions for topics, you can email your ideas, talk to any of the board members. We're always looking for people to volunteer or present on hardware and software you use at work or at home. Or if you don't want to present, we do have a monthly newsletter. You can write a short, meaning a sentence or two, or a long, multiple pages for our monthly newsletter. Out on the website, we do publish the past meeting slides and handouts. Again, this presentation, there won't be a handout, but the slides and the recording will be out there. We also have a deals section, our newsletter, and this is the link. We also have the link in all the emails that we send out. Okay, that concludes my part of it. I'm going to turn it over to Paula, and she can talk about our main topic here.
Great, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
All right, so glad to see a lot of people joining today. I'm excited to share this topic with you. If you do have questions along the way, you can ask them. I don't mind at all. And then, or you can type them in the chat and maybe Tom could take a look at them as we go. So here we go. And just the advantages of digital scrapbooking. So in that right-hand corner there, you have a crafting room with a lot of stuff in it. So, but with the digital scrapbooking, you definitely have like less stuff to keep track of and to store. You can save money just because you're not buying all that fancy stuff like the paper and embellishments, like basically stickers. And someone told me they bought something called a Cricut, and that can be, I don't know how much, like almost $200. So you can undo mistakes and hit undo. I also like that you can copy a current project and then you can update it a little bit to match like the new person that you're giving it to or that kind of thing. And it is fast. You could make a book just in a night if you want and send it in. You can get it shipped to you pretty quick. So if you wanted to, and then you can share everything. You can for free. You can just email it to people for feedback or to show. I used it recently. I made a photo book for my nephew who lives in Milwaukee. His mom lives in Virginia, so I sent her a copy so that she could see the book that I made for him. So that was fun. And then slimmer books. The digital books are a little slimmer, well, quite a bit slimmer than traditional scrapbooks. So on your bookshelf, they don't take up so much room. And then they're less like fussy, like the glue's not going to dry and things fall out. Tom had shared this with me. Here's a list of best photo books for 2021, according to this CNET article, which included a link there. And best all-around service did go to Shutterfly. There's Mixbook. There's Snapfish. I have made a few projects on Snapfish myself. And then Walmart. Sorry about that. I usually make my Christmas photo cards at Walmart because I have found that they're the best deal around. You can get prettier cards on Shutterfly and other places, but the best deal, even better than Sam's Club, was Walmart. So, and then this Mail Pets. There's a couple different services out there. Okay, and I just one day, like just 2 weeks ago, these are the projects that I just have in my house, not the ones that I've made for people for gifts, but you can see all these different mugs. They're a lot of fun. I've made like a best dad mug, and one was like about the dog, and all these little ones here are little 8x8 photo books, and here's some of the bigger ones. These were graduation gifts. And then here are some of the trips that we went on, and even like these coffee mugs. But I've created really quite a few things, everything from magnets, pot holders, what do you call those, Christmas ornaments, and blankets for a child, pencil cases, all personalized, and everything's always, received very well. So this is a cover page for our summer photos, and these are just a few. You might recognize one of the photos that you submitted in here. And what I'm going to do is I want to go through the photos first and show them to you kind of quickly, but then we're going to go back through and look at the actual constructing of the book. But for a little bit here, let's just enjoy the photos. And we had about a dozen people send in photos. Here's Linda Brown. She's on our board. She couldn't be here today. She's triple booked, but she said that she had a biking summer with her new bike. Okay, and Tom, these are your pictures. Looks like a lot of fun. This little guy, boy, you can tell he's like related to you, right? And my good friend Sue, beautiful hummingbird feeder. But from what I remember, this picture was not taken in Minnesota. Well, it was taken maybe in St. Cloud area. Is that right, Sue?
Missouri.
Oh,
Cape
Missouri.
Girardeau, Missouri. Yep, I was visiting my in-laws.
Got it. Yeah, I knew it wasn't like here in the Twin Cities. There we go, Missouri. All right. Richard, White Bear, this is all taken in White Bear Lake. Beautiful gazebo and some close-ups of some flowers. Okay, Jim. Jim had quite the dual personality going on here, the Jekyll Hyde thing. He had something having to do with Green Bay, and then he had a Vikings theme going on. So this was a fun challenge for me to get something that incorporated both Vikings and Packers. Okay, this is me. This was Willow River State Park. I have a new Wisconsin State sticker this year, like for the whole year, and I've been putting it to good use. So I've been to like 4 different parks, and in total have used my sticker, I would say at least 8 times. So I'm doing pretty well. The year's not even done. All right, and Ken, I work with Ken, and it looks like he and his family enjoyed a really fun day at the 3M Open. That's Ken's son and his lovely wife, and some of the professional golfers. And Mitch. Mitch had this beautiful photo of Mount, I don't know how you say it, Mount Moran, reflected in Jackson Lake. Oh my gosh, I thought that was gorgeous. And then Chief Joseph Highway in Shoshone National Forest. I just like to say Shoshone. And then Edison's Research Lab. And Mike, thank you for sharing photos. Yeah, the deer in your backyard, and it looks like you have like a nice path and beautiful, looks like roses. And Chuck. Chuck has the Buick symbol there. Looks like some sort of covered bridge. And then we've got a little bit of a bridge theme going. I wasn't sure where this bridge is. I don't think it's Duluth.
It's Hastings.
It's Hastings. Okay. I was like, it's not Duluth and it's not Stillwater. Okay, Hastings. Nice. I think that's it. So yeah, I wanted to thank everyone that sent in photos for the photo album. And if you want to be someone that makes a lot of photo books like I do, the #1 issue that you will run into, it is nothing else but prying photos out of people. Like you'll have a gathering and people want a book, but like you need photos for it. So we'll talk more about that. One of the reasons I like Shutterfly is it is safe, it's secure, it is free, and it's absolutely free to store your photos. I've been storing my photos in Shutterfly since 2014. They're private unless you send a share notification, and then you can share only what you want. You don't have to open up all your photos, of course. And there's a way to use the Shutterfly app. So I have the Shutterfly app, and what I do is load those photos automatically onto my Shutterfly, but then I usually use the PC to create my books. If you have little books or quick ones, they have these 6x6 ones. They're real simplistic. You can do those on the app too. They're just like a little mini coffee table book. Sometimes they're like $9.99. And I did make a couple of those just to try it out, and it was fun. So right here you have a manual setting or an automatic setting on your app, and you can see that I was in the process of loading things. It'll load pretty much everything unless you like turn off. So this was like a coupon for an oil change, and I kept that there to say when it goes in Shutterfly, I usually do some cleanup and I delete things that then I don't want on there. But yeah, you can see how many photos that even just recently I uploaded. It was more than 1,000. You use the upload here, the upload button. It's pretty easy. You set it aside, and then when you're ready to do your photos, they're all loaded. So it's nice and easy, right from your phone. Okay, then after you log in, just noting a few things here. So my projects, I have 180. That is just things that I've made in the past, but you can like do a little bit of a filter so it's easy to find the project that you were just working on. And there's always some sort of sales or specials or promotions and codes going on. So that kind of depicts that here. And some once in a great while, not real often, they'll have shipping for free, completely free. Oh, I like to get in on that deal. So on the My Photos, that's how you organize your photos. It's only about photos. That's in albums and folders. And then when you have My Projects, that's the merchandise that you could create if you want. And then deals are always changing. Okay, so for me, I like to arrange my albums by date. And then you can see that within a year, so last year in 2020, even with the COVID year, I had 16 different files. So I'll kind of organize them a little. I can show you more about that later, but this year in 2021, I so far have 11. I'm working on a graduation book for my niece, so I like to keep that as separate so it's easy to add to this on an ongoing basis. But you can name the ones within, you can name them by anything, the location or just the type of event. You know, you can say Tom's birthday bash or January, February, March. I sometimes will do photos by quarter. Otherwise, if I have a special trip, it'll be my Missouri trip 2021. So this is an example of the folders that I have for 2021. I think I took this before I had the picture, the summer photos. So, yeah, so you can see like some are trips, some are just like by dates and that kind of thing, some by people. Especially if I'm making a photo book for them, then I might name it by the person there. And for us, even for a small book, just an 8" by 8" or something, you do need 20 photos for a photo book. So that's where it gets a little tricky. But you can double up sometimes on some of them or do something a little different with them. But, you know, you need some photos to take a book, and that's always going to be the most difficult part. Now, you can make a photo book from a folder, and you can just say, okay, make a photo book here. But there's a reason I like to actually go into the gifts, pick a photo book first, and then bring the photos in. I find that I have more control that way. So you can do it either way. And then there's different sizes of books to choose from. And for what we were doing, because of the slides I showed you, I thought a landscape would be good. And everything I did was called a spread as opposed to 2 individual pictures left and right. So I chose the 11 by 8 for my Make Pretend book. So I won't order this book, but I made the slides out of it. And if we go through, I have a lot of the 8 by 8 and I give those as gifts. It's It's the least expensive. It's a really nice small size, but still can pack a lot of photos in there. And there's often some free coupons. I usually, for every book if I make 4 books, usually one of them is free. I get a coupon from somewhere. I know Kohl's has them. Sometimes Shutterfly sends them out. Procter & Gamble sends them out. And for an 8x8 book, then 1 to 3 photos per page is ideal. 10 by 10, I love that size for a really nice keepsake. If I make someone a graduation book, then I usually do like 3 to 5 photos per page. The books have 20 pages by default, but you can add pages. It costs extra, but a lot of times there's deals. Sometimes there's even unlimited extra pages on a book, and that's a good time to purchase. And then you can use these 2 sizes when you have mostly landscape photos, or if you mostly had portraits, if you were like doing some sort of, if you like had a class of some sort, like maybe even a team, and you wanted to do like portraits, then maybe you might want to use the 11 by 8. And then for very special keepsakes, this is a very large size, 12 by 12, but you could use that for like weddings or professional photos or, you know, something like that. Tom, is there any questions so far from anyone in the chat?
There's a couple of questions in the chat. If you want to bring that up, you can answer them, or if you wanted to wait till the end, it's up to you.
Yeah, Tom, I'll let you decide depending on the questions. If the questions are like relevant to like what we're talking about right now, we could take them. Otherwise, we can wait. I'll let you decide.
At this point, let's maybe wait till the end, and then you can talk. And then if you don't answer it completely, they can follow up and not interrupt here. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. So Shutterfly, when they advertise, this is like one of their advertised designs. And it's kind of fun to look at what they advertise because they have these like, sometimes they'll have like templates or guidelines. And it can, you know, these are really like artistic professionals putting these together. So it's good to see their ideas and then maybe kind of steal a few ideas. And so this is how you add your photos to a book. So you choose your book and then you choose your photos and you can get photos. Usually I try to get them right from Shutterfly by using the app, but you can also get them from my computer. Those of you that emailed me photos, that's how I received them. I saved your photos on my computer and then I use this My Computer to grab them. And then there's other ways to grab photos too. And then again, I do like to find the book that I want first and then get photos. You can do it the other way around, but this way I find I have more control and can place them myself. Even though Shutterfly will do it chronologically, it just never seems to work out. I just don't like how they place my photos, but I'm maybe picky too. Okay, and this is a little picture of that. So I usually do no thanks. I would like to place my photos myself. So you can do it each way and then hit next. Oh, this is a good feature. You can use face recognition to gather photos. So I have a little tradition for my own kids who graduated high school a few years ago, and then also with all my nieces and nephews. I make them each a photo book for high school graduation. And one good way to gather the photos is to use the facial recognition, and it works fairly well. If once in a while, out of like almost 500 photos of my 2 boys, and they are brothers, but there was maybe 3 or 4 that showed one kid when it was really the other brother. But other than that, it was pretty good, and especially good for like capturing it. So you can say, oh, where was that photo that I took in, you know, Missouri? and you might be able to find it that way too by looking for locations. So it's a really good feature. Okay, and then what you do is you can arrange, and you can arrange where each page is separate, or you can do what's called a spread. And if you see these arrows right here, this means right now this is a spread. So this was in the early concepts of making this book, and just starting to place these photos of Jim. And one thing I wanted to note is when you're doing a spread, you do want to keep the people away from the middle crease. So I'll typically, this wouldn't have worked like this. This crease down the middle would have went pretty much, you wouldn't have been able to see poor Jim, and his face would have been on, well, the left side of the page and the right side of the page, right in the crease, and we don't want that. So I don't like to put people in the crease. I'll put like a nature picture in the crease or something, or I just make sure I keep the people away from it. But spreads actually look really rich, and they do look really awesome. Okay, and then I have create. There are so many things you can do with Shutterfly and maybe other sites. You can do different layouts and photo placements, different backgrounds. So all these different types of paper, and there's like hundreds, if not, over 1,000 of these. And then you can use what they call embellishments. So these things right here are stickers, but there's also things like this called a frame. And then there's ribbons. So some of these, like this one right here, it could be a sticker, but it could be a ribbon. So there's different things. Some of the newer books in Shutterfly, they have a little bit better photo rotation, and you can certainly add headlines and text, and there's lots of different font and colors. You do want to be careful because some of the books cost a little more than others. Like there's a Disney book in there, and you'll pay a little extra. It's at least $5, but I would definitely pay that if I had a trip to Disney and was making a special book for someone. It would be worth it to use, all the licensed character things and put like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse in your photos. Some of the what I want to call it, the ink is a little more expensive. There's like a metallic silver. It looks really pretty. I'll just keep the cost down and use gray, and it looks pretty similar, but I bet that metallic silver would be very pretty. So, just create. It's just so creative. You can just do so much with it. If 100 people have those same, 30 photos, you're going to get 100 completely different books, so you just are only limited by your imagination. Okay. And so just some finishing touches when you want to make your book look really special. We talked about the spread. We talked about maybe rotating. The rotation, I wasn't able to use it real much on the photos that I created for these summer photos, just because it wasn't available in the book that I chose. But on new photo books, it looks like it's going to be a really nice feature. I did use it recently on a different book and purchased that book. And it does give a real fun, whimsical look to things when you can rotate the pictures. It maybe makes them look more casual, which is sometimes good, if you are having family photos. And then less photos can be more. I usually think that just, 1 to 3 photos per page for one of the smaller books can be usually plenty. If occasionally you can use many pictures just like on one page and say, kind of bombard it, or make like that scrapbook look to it, where like the collage, and that can be fun. But for the most part, less photos are more. You can do a lot with them. Don't forget that you can reuse photos and you can make them look different. You can increase and decrease their size. You can highlight little things, and we'll show that on the pictures that people submitted today. You can rotate them. You can make them black and white. And then embellish, but not a third embellish. You don't want to do too much. It can look kind of cheesy, so maybe strike a balance, and depends on your audience. Enjoy the backgrounds. Your photos don't have to cover every square inch, so enjoy all the other layering and backgrounds and things. Layering gives a nice rich look. Make it your own. So one Christmas I added our family recipe for the brandy old fashions, and it was a really fun touch. My mom really liked that. I've been giving her a Christmas Shutterfly photo book, an 8x8 hardcover, every year since about 2014 or even earlier. So on one book I added an autograph page, and she had all the grandchildren sign it. It was pretty cute. And then enjoy that last page or the back cover, and it's really fun to do like end of the story. People in my family, they know I'm the only one that makes these books, so I don't put, oh, made by Paula for so-and-so, but you could do that. I like to use those back pages for anything like funny or end of the story. So this is my nephew and his wife, and they took this fun picture. So that was the last page of my book one time. This right here is one of these young ladies is my niece, and this is spelling out love in sign language. And so it really makes a nice like last photo and that kind of thing. This is my son. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shown someone like bearskin, but he's always running around with bearskin. He doesn't care. But this is, I think, Rocky Mountain National Park. And I like to do this a lot when you have something really scenic and then you have the person like looking at the scenery. It's kind of a fun last page. Right here, here's a silly one. Here is, writing in the sand. This is an example of where if you're not getting a lot of photos, you can kind of make your own. This doesn't take real much for someone to go ahead and do this. Sometimes pets can be on the last page. This was in Yellowstone, and the kids are like looking out in the Adirondack chairs and just looking at the scenery, and then beach photos. I thought these were nice in black and white. Black and white is really good for kind of hiding the fact that someone like doesn't have a lot of clothes on, if that makes sense, and kind of doesn't detract from it and make it look weird. So I want to go back to the photos and then we'll talk through those a little bit. All right. So we had our cover. And then sometimes, on the cover, if you don't have a lot of photos, you can reuse your photos and just make them in the cover and say, yep. And then the person, the recipient, the person that the book is for, or if it's just for yourself and your family, then you kind of know what pictures are in that book. Oh yeah, that's what this is, so. All right, for Linda, I wanted to make, you've got this kind of hard looking industrial bike here. She's wearing a helmet. So I want to kind of soften this up. And this background was all the pictures throughout, for the most part, use this like kind of softer brushed pastel color that reminds me of summer. And I thought it was really fun to add these like terracotta colored little frames, and then to add like these kind of feminine touches like these sunflowers and this like vintage bike photo to kind of counteract some of the hardness of like, what this bike actually looks like, and it's kind of like this hard thing. So I thought all these things kind of soften up this photo. So that was my photo for Linda. For Tom, just going from left to right, I also used the terracotta border, and I added like some little sayings. And you can make your own, and you could put this in text like this, if you don't see something you like, but this happened to be a sticker. And also the happy going down was a nice place to put something because I had a little bit of extra vertical space here. And I kind of like just that small sentiment. And just putting a little explanation sometimes of, what something is fun. And then finally, there was this big umbrella right here, this big blue umbrella that goes over a table. And I just thought that this word strong going over it kind of hides the fact that there's this big blue umbrella. And it kind of, for me, makes me look at the people having a lot of fun instead. And then finally, you can see here, I made sure that people were on the left-hand side and that they weren't going in the creases. There might be a shoe in the crease, but I thought that was acceptable. All right, and for Sue, my very longtime friend, hello Sue. Sue sent me just the one photo, but it has this like really fun action. And like by taking the photo, and I actually just reprinted it. You just actually take the same photo, paste it in here, but then I zoomed in and framed it so that you actually see this little hummingbird in action, and it really draws it out. And then knowing Sue, I just thought it was really fun to add some of these little, sorry Sue, add these little like birdies and, kind of like these little butterflies, and just add some of the stickers and these binoculars and the local secret. And then the little bird right here and these pretty flowers just kind of add a little something, I thought, to the photo. All right. For Richard, he already had colorful photos in here. And so I just added this black and white photo of a flower. If I would have added a colorful one like they have in Shutterfly, I think that would take away or detract from Richard's really nice photos. And I sometimes like to keep things a little life-size, like, it'd be weird to me to have the flowers like super huge like this and then have the gazebo be real little. I also like a little flourish. There's a few of these and I thought that's really fun. And I love these photos so much, and I thought it looked artistic to not have a border and then just to have them be about the same size, and, just really add to each other. Kind of looks gallery-like. And then the White Bear Lake, Minnesota, if I were printing this book, I would not put that there. I put it there for today, but I would move it, and I would maybe move it off to the side. Thank you, Richard. And Jim, at first I thought his was a Vikings type, like the whole motif. But then I realized that he had Green Bay, and I'm like, oh, so there's like Packer stuff and Viking stuff. So then instead of having an all purple background, I decided to use this ribbon here and add a little bit of the Green Bay colors with that green, and then make it more about football and not so much about just the Vikings or just the Packers. So you've got like these little football symbols. Here's one here. Here was a different kind here. And then you've got this football sticker, and it is fall. So, and it looks like Jim looks like that's your wife. Everyday happiness. I thought that was kind of sweet. And so you've got a mix here of like, how are you going to combine this picture so it looks all cohesive, even though you have like two different teams? And if I were making it and like we have 3M right there, I might have moved this picture a little bit to actually see, and maybe move this all to one page, just because if I didn't want to lose the 3M. But it just depends on your personal preference. So that was fun. For my own picture, one thing I did was I put the little heart here because this is like a family photo. That's my mom and my younger sister. And one neat thing that you can do in Shutterfly that I've illustrated here is these two pictures are actually the same, except that this picture, larger one. This is use photo as background. And then what you can do is there's a toggle on there to change the transparency. So you can make it a little more light colored, which I did, and have it like disappear in the background. So I did. And then this is actually the same picture, but more in color and without like lack of transparency. So then you can kind of see what it really looks like. And then again, on this one, I did black and white. I thought that looked a little better. I thought it actually shows the formation of the rocks better when I did it black and white rather than just me. And then also, it was like one of those 90-degree days. You're hiking in elevation. This is really high up at Devil's Lake State Park. And so I'm wearing like just a tank top, but you know, by putting it in black and white, it's a little easier to show a little skin there. So, let's keep going. And for Ken and his picture about golf, I kind of found out Shutterfly doesn't have a lot of pictures, like stickers having to do with golf. So they did have this one, and this worked out really well. Happiness is sticking it on the green. You can recreate this if you want. You can do anything, and you can add pictures in there. But I thought that was kind of fun to put this on this side of the picture. But because there is not a lot of actual golf stickers, what I did was I used this Get Out and Play, which I think really kind of fits golf and fits this picture. And then like #1 fan. I didn't think Ken would mind that I put him as #1 fan. You know, you can change things if you want. And maybe like if Ken were doing this picture for his own family, he might have like a funny picture to share. He might, you know, use people's names in the picture. I didn't do that, but you certainly could. And I really like this light bulb because it's Edison's lab and they had this as a sticker. In order to put that there, I had to change the background. And I like this little string of lights. So sometimes I like to put in little subtle things like that the first time someone looks at their book and they go through, they may not notice them. But then the second time they go through, they would. And I just thought this picture was so beautiful. I added this text in here in cursive just because to soften it up and just make it even more beautiful. And then right here, you're like, oh, why did Paula put this sticker, this Explore the Outdoors? Actually, in the background, there's kind of a road sign, which I didn't think was so attractive. So I can often use stickers to hide some of those unattractive things, kind of like I did with the umbrella. And I do sometimes like to label things and say what they are, and you can tell a whole story if you wanted. You could put those texts right here in the sky in a different color. So a lot of different things. And then with Mike's photos, gave him a little flourish again. And then I really enjoyed repeating the pattern of the rose. So it's all the same picture, but you can really draw attention. And I thought that was like one of the most beautiful pictures of the set that Mike sent. So that was kind of fun. And then finally, Chuck's pictures here. You know, I didn't have a lot of information about Chuck's photos and where they're taken and what they were or why, but I decided to do it kind of gallery style, you know, and kind of treat it all as kind of architectural and art. And then it's very geometrical. You've got like this, which I tried to make the same size with picture on the left and the right. And then in the middle was the longer picture. And so I kind of offset that by putting Summer Photo Collection and Chuck's name in the cursive, just to kind of take away from that mechanical feel of it and so much of this like structure and architecture, which is beautiful, by the way. I do love that. And so you could, you know, do a lot of different things with this. And I thought this picture would be okay at a crease just because it's very symmetrical. So a lot of different ways you can do it though. I think what we should do, Tom, is look at questions In the meantime, we can open up, this is the actual book. If you look here, you can also see that road sign that I hid.
Would you like us to just read the questions to you, or are you finding them okay?
I could find them either way. Let's see. Okay. Oh, whoever said that they missed the photos, I don't know if I'm at the beginning here. We did go back
scroll
through.
up to the top. There's a couple.
Okay.
Bob's the first one.
A data maximum in Shutterfly. They've said it's unlimited free photos. And boy, sometimes some of my photo books, the biggest ones I've made, just like one photo book for my son's high school graduation, because I started from birth and went forward, and it has like maybe 60 pages and it's 10 by 10. It'll have 500 photos in there. So I don't know about that. I don't. There's not much of a limit. I make just dozens of projects and books, and I haven't had any problem.
I think Bob may be asking about Shutterfly, if they have a tier where you purchase, so like you get a terabyte or something of storage, and maybe the quality of the photos that are uploaded. Do you know? Is it what quality does it store them on Shutterfly?
I think it's more about what quality you want when you print. You can upgrade your photo book, and you can get like the very best quality. If I order prints, there might be one or two. If I'm going to frame them, I get the very best quality. But so I don't know how to answer that. I don't know that I have the answer, except that there's no extra charge for storing your photos at all, and whenever you want to print something a little bit higher quality, you can. And you can do it both on the projects, like especially the photo books, there's an option to do that. You can also do it on the prints. And they have all different sizes of prints.
Okay.
And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. For all the photo books I've made, I have not upgraded. And all my books have turned out, really beautiful. So, yep. I am not related to Ralph Munkelwitz, but it is not the first time I've been asked that. And I understand maybe this Ralph Munkelwitz might even live in Hudson. Oh, yes, you can definitely put the same photo in different albums. You can reuse it on mugs and, coffee mugs and photo books and a second photo book and a third photo book. That's not a problem. And then Mitch, hopefully you saw everything, including your own photos and those really beautiful flowers in your gazebo. Can you send them to can you or someone send them to download your photos from Shutterfly? Can I get some explanation on that? I'm not sure what that question means.
Send them a link, I think, is maybe what he was trying to ask.
Yeah, you can definitely send a link. You can pick your project. The easiest way for me to do it is go to your project, and then I hit the word share. Let's see. Yeah, if I exit out of that, I could. I'll have to show that in a little bit.
I just wanted to know if I put everything in Shutterfly, if I can download it later.
It all saves it. So I actually reprinted a book the other day that I made about 4 or 5 years ago, because it was the only book I made for my mom in soft cover. And then I had a coupon for a free book. So I used it to reprint that book in hardcover. So it was really nice.
But if you've got all your photos stored on Shutterfly, can you download them back to your computer? Say if you want a local copy of them all again. As opposed to your phone.
You're not moving them. You're only copying them.
Right. But you'll get full resolution copy again.
they'll be in your photo album too. So in your, like I have an iPhone, they'll be in your photos. So what I usually do is once I have them uploaded in Shutterfly and then I've like made projects, after a while, I'll delete them in my photos because I know I have them on Shutterfly. And you can open your Shutterfly app and you could show those same photos if you want. So, boy, this picture of Mitch's, if it were me and I was printing this book, this is such a beautiful photo. I think I would just have one full page of a spread just like this and not even ruin it with anything, not text or anything else. That was like just gorgeous. And this Hastings Bridge would be a fun photo to put if you were putting that in the middle of your book and make that full spread as well. This one, because it has a lot of other things, you could probably put, Hastings, Minnesota or something, or explain like what the boat going underneath is and put a little something. But yeah, Mitch's Mount Moran was, boy, this is just gorgeous. You can put this in preview when you're like looking at that. Okay, and then I'll go back to the questions. I can share that book with anyone that wanted it. Yeah,
Paula?
I could. Yes?
Yeah, this is Tom. So we will put out your slides that you sent. Actually, they're out there now. But if you create a shared link, send it to me and I can stick it on the club website in the past meeting. And people can get at it right there then too.
Okay, yeah. I know it works really easy if I send it like in particular. So I'll send one to you, Tom, and then I'll send one to Mitch because he wanted one. So I'll share that.
Sure.
All right, we'll keep going here. Poor John, did you make your coffee mug on Shutterfly?
It actually wasn't something I made. It was something that someone sent to me, and I don't know where they got it from.
Oh, okay. I definitely put all my coffee mugs in the dishwasher daily. I made myself a Harry Potter coffee mug that I just love. My husband has like a taller mug. It was like one of the best dad mugs that I just made for him. We put those in the dishwasher, weekly basis for sure. And they turn out just fine. We've never had them peel or anything like that. I do hand wash. I have these acrylic mugs and I hand wash those. And I do hand wash all of my coffee tumblers, no matter what brand. I have like a Columbia one, a Yeti one, something like this. So with the Shutterfly ones, I do hand wash those. But the coffee mugs, dishwasher, never a problem. So I was asking because if, you could always put in a complaint, and they have pretty good customer service. Sometimes Shutterfly, I said, hey, I was in, Hawaii. I was trying to make this book. I didn't have good Wi-Fi. I couldn't use your coupon. Can you extend it? They've done that a few times for me. I think they look through and they see your account and they see I'm a pretty big user and purchaser, and they'll usually I'll ask for a week of extra time and they'll give me a month. So, yep, fun hobby. It is fun. Yeah, the road sign. Oh yeah. And okay. So that is funny. Mitch says he likes the road sign that was in his photo. So yes. And you can certainly keep that there and remove the sticker. It points away from the scenery. Yeah, that's true. Any other questions from anybody?
Yeah, this is Tom. I don't know, do you do anything with adding titles to your photos and tags? Or do you just upload them and that?
Like I say, all I do is I put my photos in albums and folders and not label every single individual picture. But if if I have a favorites, I have like one that's just favorites. But I don't label every single one, but I do use the face recognition, and that's very helpful. But it would just be a lot of pictures for me to individually label.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Also, does Shutterfly, you mentioned the app for the phone, does it back up your video? You know if it does anything with movies that you shot?
I do not think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have videos on there and I don't think they appear. So no, I don't think it has video.
Yeah, and maybe getting back to some of the early, the quality type of a deal. If you are concerned with the quality, one of the things that you could probably do easily is upload a photo and then download it and see the change in size or quality that might happen there. And if you are concerned about backing up photos, I guess I see Shutterfly as a great tool for creating these books and organizing some of this stuff. But for backup or things like that, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can upload all your photos for free up there. Or if you want more editing, then an Adobe Lightroom. So there are other options there, and Google Photos. So there are other sites and that for backup or sharing also.
Someone had asked about GIFs, and there's everything. You can make like this artwork. These are brand new. These are metal photo tiles, and you can put multiple pictures on one tile or just one picture on. And you can, get those printed, and it's artwork. Here's a Christmas ornament. Here's some of the mugs, magnets, placemats. This is a ceramic cross, and it's attractive, and it's like 12 inches tall, maybe 10, but it's, you can write anything you want on it. You could make something like this for a child's like baptism or christening. So they have a lot of fun things. That's my Harry Potter mug I drink out of all the time. Looks like I made it. Maybe I made it in 2019.
And Debbie, we do have Debbie Skinner-Henrys. You have a question? And you're muted, Debbie.
Thank you. I just had a comment. With all these digital pictures, what I found we went through the digital era, that people had, took all these gorgeous pictures, had all these digital pictures, and they get hard to share. We kind of lost the old photo album deal. And so what we were commenting because other people had pictures, and what I started doing, because I have grandkids and kids, and we weren't sharing them. Nobody wants to sit around and all watch the TV and look at pictures. That I started making what I call a year in review. And they've really been enjoyed by the family. Both, they count how many times they're in the year in review. It's a way of, like Paula said, she's made books with 500 pictures in it, and I have too. And I just do it like chronologically, January, February, March, April, that kind of deal, just to organize it. And they've been really enjoyed. The grandkids, when they come up, they get the book out and look at themselves and each other, and they go back to years. And in the beginning of each page, or the first page, I'll do highlights of the year. So then they know which year, something happened, this family vacation or trip or some, baby being born or whatever. And then when somebody asked about the quality of it, what I have found, like Paula said, the pictures are gorgeous, and I just take pictures from my phone. And if I get a picture from somebody, or I like somebody sends it to me, I don't know how it happens, but the app is pretty sensitive that it'll put like an exclamation point on the picture to say that I have like expanded it, or the photo has kind of poor quality. And even when I've had those exclamation points and I've printed out the book, the pictures are still way acceptable. So it kind of senses things. So.
Yeah, Debbie, you're right that when I get that exclamation point, sometimes it's because it's too close to the edge, and I usually can just ignore that because it's just sky or shoes or something, and I don't care that it's going off the edge. In fact, I may even, want it to look like that, right? So, but if it's because it says that the image is going to be blurry, I usually do fix it. And what I'll do is I'll just reduce the size of that photo, especially like an old-fashioned photo. You just can't print them like on a whole page like I've shown some of these spreads.
Yes.
Some of these spreads with a digital photo, I mean, it's, you can really do them large, and have them be really perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, this right here, this was a professional photo. This right here, there were a couple of these. So this turned out great because it was actually a professional photo. But yeah, just make them a little smaller if you get that exclamation point. That's a good point, Debbie. And then Debbie, the other thing, like what you said, is that, everyone likes looking at them. And my last comment for the whole session here is that if you give one as a gift, make sure it's the last thing that someone opens, because once they get that book in their hands, they don't want to open any other Christmas gifts. Nope. They want to sit there and look at their book, and they just really enjoy it. And then they'll look at it again at a later date, and and it's something they can keep forever. But make sure it's the last gift they open.
Yeah, and everybody else wants to see it too. So you're right. The other thing is it's very sturdy. I mean, I scrapbooked many scrapbooks, and they are they're fragile. Things fall off, pictures get wrecked, and these books from Shutterfly are so sturdy that the kids can look at them. You don't have to worry about, if they get wrecked. And the other thing is, if they get wrecked, you can order another one. It's not a big deal. So you don't have to keep the kids from looking at them or worry about them or taking them places. And, oh my God, I lost my scrapbook or something. You can print another one. So that's great. And I do mine now at Costco for people that have Costco memberships, because I only have an iPad and I only have an iPhone, and Shutterfly, it's probably been 4 years now, 5 years. Well, I don't know that it was 5 years. I was doing everything on Shutterfly, and Shutterfly updated their app, and it was not mobile friendly. And they even had a mobile app, and that was really hard. And then they upgraded their app again, and they got rid of being supportive of mobile apps. And I mean, I was even into Shutterfly's IT department, and finally got a hold of somebody in there that said, oh yeah, we decided to not support mobile devices. So I had to change and and I went to Costco, and now all my pictures are in Costco, so I haven't gone back. But, so I'm hoping Shutterfly is now mobile supportive, but I haven't gone back to them.
Thank you, Debbie. Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you, and thank you so much for presenting.
You're very welcome. It was absolutely my pleasure, and I was glad to get all the photos from a lot of different people.
Oh, and to get photos, because we do family vacations, and I ask for everybody to give me their photos. I've done it both I give them my like sign in and they put them in there. I give them a place to put them. And also I've had people email photos to me, message photos to me, you know, even Facebook message, things like that. So all of that is doable. And then you just you take the photo and save it and then you download it. So it's easy for people to do that. But yeah, getting them to do it sometimes, but if you give them like an easy way, and I've even been with people that have taken a picture of me and Scott or something, and when they get done taking the picture, I go right over to their phone, and because they don't know how to share photos, and I go over to their phone and I send it to myself.
Yes. Yeah, the airdrop is really nice, and then you can use the Shutterfly app to upload them. But yeah, in our family, I like to enlist the teenagers and tell them your job is to get all the kids a picture with grandma and grandpa, either together or separately, it doesn't matter. That's your job. So, and then someone else's job is make sure you get, you know, cousin Noah, he's making French onion soup last Christmas. Make sure to get a picture of his soup and him making it, you know, so give everyone a little task and they usually come through for you. So, well, Tom, I think that's good for today, huh?
Yeah, thanks for going through there, Paula. And if people have any other questions, you can funnel it through me, and we'll get it to Paula. And again, it's nice to see what other people are doing, and it sounds like you're doing quite a bit there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So good. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Paula.
Yep.
Thank you, Paula.
Day.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Paula.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.